The fall of Acre in 1291 did not just end a city, it ended an entire era, and the way it happened was absolutely catastrophic. Acre was the last major Christian stronghold in the Holy Land. The Crusaders had held it for nearly a century. The siege of Acre was the final brutal collapse of the Crusader kingdom, marked by mass casualties as defenders and civilians fled Mamluk forces. On May 18, 1291, after intense bombardment, Mamluk forces breached the walls. As the city fell, panicked crowds tried to escape, with many crushed, drowned, or killed in the chaos. When the Mamluk Sultan Al-Ashraf Khalil arrived with an army estimated at over 100,000 soldiers, the defenders inside the walls numbered maybe 15,000. The math was already brutal before a single stone was thrown. The siege lasted weeks. The Mamluks used an almost incomprehensible amount of siege equipment: catapults, battering rams, tunneling teams working underground to collapse the foundations. The ground itself was being eaten away from beneath the walls, while arrows and projectiles rained down from above. When the outer walls finally began to give way, what happened next was pure human stampede disaster. Civilians had been flooding toward the harbor for days, trying to evacuate by sea. Ships were overloaded. Captains were reportedly charging fortunes just for a single place on board. People were drowning trying to swim to vessels that would not take them. Then the inner wall started collapsing, while people were still pressed up against them, trying to reach the harbor. Thousands of civilians were crushed, not by weapons, by falling stone and by each other. The Templar headquarters held out for 10 more days after the city fell. A small group of knights barricaded themselves inside. The Mamluks eventually tunneled under the foundation, and the entire structure collapsed inward, killing everyone inside, including the attackers. Acre did not just fall, it was swallowed whole. Following the victory, the Mamluks demolished the city's fortifications to ensure it could never again serve as a Crusader stronghold.